Hello everybody and welcome to my first video. I am Death from Above and today we'll be talking about the movie Zero Day. Now, if you haven't seen the movie yet, watch it. I really do want you to stop watching this video right now and go watch the movie. And then, you can come back to the video and we'll talk about it together. But if you still refuse to watch this fantastic, great movie, then, or if you forgot what it's about, here's a short summary. The movie follows two young boys, Gabriel and Andre Kriegman, who are planning to shoot up their school. The movie is filmed in a found footage type style and shows the boys preparing for the shooting, but also them just being teenage boys. That's a short version of it. Throughout the video we'll get more into the characters, specific plot points, etc. But now, onto the actual video. Starting with the last names. Fuck. We'll be starting off by discussing the names of our protagonists, and we'll be also starting off with a fun fact. Did you know that originally they weren't called Cal, Gabriel and Andre Kriegman, but instead Thomas, Gabriel and Avery Kriegman? Originally it was meant to be just, because it's a fictional thing, so they made up names, but then the director decided that using their real names would be more authentic and would be cooler, so that's how we got that. But moving on to what we really want to discuss, the symbolism of the names. And I think the last names of the boys really symbolize how people view them and perceive them. So I'll be starting with Cal, since he's the more well-known character of the duo and his name has a rather simple meaning.
Are you done yet?
I'm insecure and I need attention.
So this is sort of weird since we'll only have to do this for Cal, but we gotta take his looks into consideration when we talk about his name. With his pre-boy looks, Cal is often misjudged by his peers and the fucking fandom.
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
As this really sweet, innocent and almost, angelic guy. And angelic is really the keyword here. This is how people perceive him, like an angel, just very sweet and innocent, and everything else you can connect to the word angelic. Gabriel being his last name is also the name of one of the archangels, Archangel Gabriel, a messenger of God, the one who told Maria that she was pregnant with Jesus. Gabriel part really connects the whole angelic thing. Now, with Andre, it's rather simple.
I call her Milena. In conclusion, live fast, live hard, and die by any combination of those two.
Well, at least for me, because I speak German, and probably for other German viewers as well, it's rather simple. So, Krieg in German means war, which is way more basic to understand, in my opinion, than Gabriel in Cal's case. Especially when you hear Andre talk. On one side, it's Andre's heritage. He is from Germany, after all. But on the other hand, it shows how he gets perceived as this very angry, perhaps even hateful person.
Rip and tear! Rip and tear your guts! You're huge! That means you have huge guts! Rip and tear!
But it also is kind of how Andre sees himself, perhaps. You see, in the tapes, Andre always talks like some kind of soldier, like he's training other soldiers to do what they do.
Now, the first day of school is tomorrow, and so now it can basically come at any time. So we figured now's the best time to go over the invasion plan and basically go through the guidelines and through the outline that we've produced so that you, the viewer, can go ahead and do such a thing on your own. Plans go.
Even by the pranks, the boys, they call them missions and not, pranks or, I don't know, something like that. I mean, they both call them missions, but it's probably Andre's idea saying how a lot of his vocabulary is sort of like wannabe military lingo. So, as evidence, I have following clips of the movies, since this is like the only outsider perspective we see it in.
Andre's the violent one, not me.
I just heard you say Andre's violent.
I didn't say that. He's not violent either.
I don't know, sometimes the way he talks about people and just interacts with everyone is just
You mean like
a little... Not me all the time, just... He's just a little offbeat, a little strange.
What, do you think he's a bad influence on me, Mom? Well, he doesn't like you either, so it's okay.
That's all right, I don't really mind that much. It's just that, I don't know, you hang out with him a lot, and I just don't want you kind of, becoming like him.
Why? What do you think is him?
He has a lot of anger.
Problems or just anger in general?
Well, he probably has anger because he has problems that I don't know about, you know, but...
No, it doesn't, like, his dad doesn't beat him or anything like that.
I didn't... Like, I'm your friend and all, and he's your friend, so he should at least try and be semi-courteous to me, but he's really not.
Also, spoiler alert, in case you still haven't taken my advice and watched the movie, the crosses in the very end, and the things they have written on it show how people view them, even after they both cause death and destruction. On Cal's cross you got peace symbols, R.I.P. Cal, and possibly written under it, we'll miss you. Meanwhile, on Andre's cross you got fuck you, may God have mercy on your soul because I wouldn't, and hate. Both boys though have hate breeds hate written on their crosses, and fuck you, but Cal's cross is still far more positive than Andre's. So yeah.
You're gay.
The short version is Cal is like the super cutesy, sweet, innocent angel baby boy, oh, and Andres is like evil ass, hateful, bitch ass motherfucker. At least according to their peers and the fandom. In this chapter, I'd like to solely talk about the main characters, explore their dynamic, background, behavior, all of that stuff that should hopefully be interesting.
That makes sense.
Even though
they're gonna say one of us was the leader. I mean, I really don't. I mean, we joke, but I really don't think any one of us is more of a leader than the other.
Why don't we split the press releases? All right.
All right.
I could be leader for half. You could be leader for half.
Sounds good.
Now, to start this chapter, I'd like to talk about the similarities between the Columbine killers, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, and Andre Kriegman and Carl Gabriel. Now, it's kind of funny since Andre's actor denies or doesn't think there are any similarities between him and Cal's character and the Columbine shooters.
How much did you know about what had happened at Columbine before you got that movie?
Yeah, so this was 2001. This was all happening. I think the initial casting submission I sent in was in the fall of 2000. And so over the subsequent, 6 months of email correspondence, yeah, you're putting it into 2001. Columbine obviously happened April of 99, so it was very fresh for everybody. I was in 8th grade when Columbine happened. So, you're a middle schooler when, at the time, the largest sort of mass school shooting event in history had taken place.
How much of the portrayal in that film of Andre the character was based off of Harris or Klebold?
Almost nothing, virtually nothing. Both by circumstance and by choice. Like, we just didn't seek out a lot of information about them. The idea at the time was not to do Columbine the movie. That was never the intention. So we never really wanted to base, and I say we, neither Cal nor I wanted to base the characters too closely on that. And that gets to a lot of sensitivities, not only from like a strictly performance and character construction choice, but the last thing you want to do is try to portray someone who's so responsible for so much pain and suffering for people, and then bungle it and turn it into a caricature. And we didn't really know Ben at the time, so we didn't know what the movie would turn into. We didn't know how things would go. And you want to be extraordinarily delicate when you're doing something like that, so you're making sure that you're not making a farce out of something that's obviously very serious. So there's that consideration, the cultural aspect of it. But then just as a strictly like performance basis, we had a fully written script. It was 200 pages or something long, whatever it was. And you know, you just look at that and my approach as an actor is to do the work with the text that you have in front of you and to build the character as much from scratch as possible. And since this was not a historical reenactment, it made more sense to say, okay, you're starting from scratch with this scenario, these circumstances, these character dynamics. What does that look like? So it's just more of a fulfilling creative process when you're doing it that way, I think, rather than just trying to be some guy from history who happened to be responsible for a heinous crime.
But I'd beg to differ. There are quite a few correlations between them, at least according to me. Firstly, a lot about Cal is similar to Dylan Klebold, from them both being perceived as pretty innocent, quote, sunshine boys, or even followers, which is funny considering that he's being the more aggressive one during the massacre. And Andre and Cal both joke about people theorizing about who's the leader, whereas Andre is pretty, I guess you could call it stoic during it, and even spares one person, which is only to feel like God, you know, like, oh, I'm God and I'll decide who lives and dies, which is also a thing that Harris and Klebold did, but still he did spare someone, I guess, and Carl immediately shoots the one person full mag, or at least, you know, a bunch of bullets just for overkill. Another thing that's a connection between the Columbine shooters and Cal and Andre in this case, specifically Cal and Harris, is Cal getting off his meds, Ritalin, for his ADD somewhere in his freshman year of high school, just like how Harris, according to his friends, stopped taking the drugs that were prescribed for him, in general. Perhaps by now you may have noticed that I mostly talk about Cal, and I'm sorry to all the Andre fans, all like 15, 30 out there, I guess. But sadly there's not a lot going on with Andre, at least nothing we get to see. Because we never really see Andre just alone. We see Cal alone, almost manically talking about Zero Day, and this and that, and with Andre we just don't. Another thing that kind of makes a discussion about Andre hard is one of his big things is military lingo. He rarely talks about personal stuff and is really focused, you know, on the mission. Unlike Cal, who, yes, he's also very focused, but Cal's just more emotional about it, I guess, than Andre is. But still, I'd say that both boys have enough similarities, for me at least, to make the connection to the Columbine shooters. Again, it may have been intentional by Ben Chochio, however you pronounce that last name.
Get fucked.
Or, you know, it may have been coincidence, but either way, I think it's relatively funny, in quotation marks, to think about. Yeah. Their dynamics, nothing that really needs to be touched upon, I think. They both are equally followers as they are leaders, if that makes any sense. Simply put, there is no leader-follower dynamic. Their background, however, is pretty interesting, or rather, really in a pretentiously put way. It's interesting in how uninteresting it is. Both boys grew up in a nice, normal suburban household, like they're the picture of suburbia. So it's not like you can trace what they did back to stuff like, oh, well, they were abused at home, or, well, they grew up in a hateful household, or anything like that. If anything from outside caused or forced them to do it, it would be the peers at school, I guess?
See you later, Red. Bye. Nice meeting you. Bye. Formally.
Yeah. I had a good time.
Bye, Cal.
You rock ass.
You rock the ass.
Good night. Okay, I don't like him.
This isn't our fault. I mean, you made me what I am.
For years, I've been tormented by all of you assholes. Okay? I was called a faggot for walking down the hall in school in a shirt that came from fucking J.C. Penney. It's a fucking shirt. Who the fuck cares?
But the boys contradict themselves on what made them do it. Sometimes saying, oh, it had to be done, it's just the way it is, and sometimes going for the revenge thing.
There are no reasons, and you're all gonna look for them, but you're not gonna find them. So fuck you, fuck that, fuck the reasons, there are none.
This isn't our fault. I mean, you made me what I am.
For years, I've been tormented by all of you assholes. Okay? I was called a faggot for walking down the hall in school in a shirt that came from fucking J.C. Penney. It's a fucking shirt, who the fuck cares?
It's too bad that this is what we have to do, but we're doing it, so... And don't waste this opportunity. Don't just say that these people's lives were lost for nothing, because it's just stupid. Just wake up.
We're not trying to waste anybody's life. We're trying to show people what they should value.
Well, yeah.
And eventually we'll all die out. So
join while you can.
But since we're talking about the massacre again, let's stay on that topic. Their true colors get revealed during it, I'd say. I mean, it's their last ones alive, so of course they won't hide themselves anymore. The thing is, Andre is more or less still the same. He doesn't talk much during the shooting, or act irrationally or anything that'd be out of his character. But Cal does very much so. He goes from his usual quiet, sweet, timid self and acts like the complete opposite of how everyone, probably including the viewer, perceives him. He acts very savagely, screaming, tormenting people, and like I mentioned previously, not sparing anyone. He's showing that he wasn't different around Andre. No, he was himself around him and fake around everyone else.
Hey, everybody! Oh, go away.
Can you pick up?
Look at the blood, Jesus.
Some victims may be injured and or down.
Is the gun pointed at you? Shut up. What? What? Are you dead yet? No, you're still alive, aren't you?
Perpetrators are threatening the victims.
Shut up! Shut up!
Perpetrators aggravated threatening victim.
Shut up! Look at her right there. Shut up! I like that. I called you sir. I can't kill you. You're too pathetic. You're gonna live today, man. You're gonna live.
Several shots.
Overall, I'd say that Andre is, in a very weirdly put way, more humane in all of this than Cal. I mean, Andre sees this all more like a mission and just wants to get the job done. But Cal, you know, he indulges in it, he enjoys it very much. You know, which can be seen during the massacre, obviously, but as well as in his own recordings where he describes the massacre in like very weird metaphors that make sense to him, obviously. And you know, insert the clip!
It's just gonna be unreal. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm staring right at you through the tape and right at you. We're gonna leave you all behind, just sticks in the mud that Andre and I have made. And we're gonna walk away.
And with that, I will end my analysis and my video on Andre and Cal. I hope you enjoyed. If you agree or disagree, or have any views on your own, then please share them in the comments. I'll gladly discuss them with you, and if I have any thoughts, I'll try to formulate something coherent. And if you like this video and want more content like this, then please subscribe. I'll be focusing on true crime and true crime related media on this channel, for example like Zero Day. My next video will be on the Academy Maniacs case, so if you're interested in that case, or if you in general like true crime stuff, then stay tuned for that. But for now, I'm Dev from Above, and I thank you for watching my video.